Okay, this is the JP secret. Now, I can't tell you the guy's last name because I've got to protect him. I believe he's still alive, and I would never want to embarrass him or any of his family if he hears this. But this is a secret I learned almost 30 years ago. JP was from the Salt Lake City, Utah area. He was one of our first distributors for our Dialing for Dollars program. And when our company was brand new and doing, less than $3 million a year, I think we were bringing in about $2.5 million a year. Sometimes I think it was like just over $2 million a year. He was already doing over $5 million a year. This is one of our distributors. So he was taking our stuff that we gave him and doing over $5 million a year in sales. Now, I know that anybody can tell you how much money that they're making, and a lot of people, they lie when it comes to money and stuff like that. So you never know if people are really telling you the whole truth or not. And yet I know that he was doing $5 million in sales because he was doing all of his wholesale orders through us until we told him to move on and start using someone else. Because JP in the end was doing some things that got him in trouble legally, and we saw the writing on the wall at least a year and a half or 2 years before the feds came calling, and he was running advertising that was very misleading, and we knew that. And it's a long story. I'm happy to tell you the story if we ever meet face to face. But when the government finally did come after him, like 2 years or so after we stopped doing business with him, he had $8 million just sitting in the bank, and they seized it all. It was the largest FTC seizure at that time. This was like 1992 or something like that. But Jay, what got him that $8 million in the bank? Now, if that's crazy, if you're doing something that really pushes the law or whatever, I just think it's crazy just having $8 million in the bank account. Anyway, I would never leave $8 million just sitting in my bank account. So again, I say I don't want to embarrass Jay, but there's a marketing secret that I learned from him that I want to teach to you. And it's a very simple secret. And here it is. Our Dialing for Dollars program was a program that we introduced in the late 1980s for using a telephone answering machine to do part of the job, or even in some cases, all of the job that a sales rep would do. So it did some or even all of the selling. Now we use voice mailboxes, but back then it was answering machines. And Jay was violating everything that we recommended to all of our, we didn't call them affiliates at that time, we called them distributors, but he was violating every rule. We told people that the messages had to be super fast. Jay's message was very long. We told people you better do it in 2 or 3 minutes because nobody's going to listen to a message more than 2 or 3 minutes. Jay's messages were 2 or 3 times that length. We told people your messages have to be super, super exciting because nobody's going to sit there and listen to a boring sales message. And yet that's exactly what Jay's messages were. They were long and boring. I could never listen to a whole one myself. And believe me, I tried on more than one occasion to get through one of the whole messages that he had. I mean, they were 2 or 3 times longer than we suggested. And to say they were boring would be an understatement. Turns out he was doing all that on purpose. He was making them very long and making them very monotonous to listen to because he was doing it on purpose. He told me that anybody, because I said to him, Jay, because I knew his sales were coming in because he was placing all these wholesale orders. That's how I knew he was bringing in $5 million a year, because of all the wholesale orders he was placing with our company. And this is before we cut him out. And he moved on, and then he ended up getting in trouble with the law. And that is a whole nother story. I'll tell you someday, maybe, if we ever meet. But he told me, look, I make my messages very long and very boring as a way of pre-qualifying the prospect. He said, I figure anybody that's going to listen to a long, boring message is going to be a very good prospect. And we were sending out the product COD back then, kind of a laborious task where the customer agrees to, we weren't taking credit cards information down or asking them to send a check or money order. The actual UPS driver in this case was actually taking the money. I don't even think they do that nowadays. But a lot of people that ordered the product, when it came time for the UPS driver to collect the money, they had changed their mind. So Jay was looking for a super qualified prospect, in this case a prospective buyer, because they were all agreeing to the purchase upon, it was a COD, cash on delivery. Don't even know if UPS can offer that service anymore. And up to 60–70% of the people were rejecting it. When the driver came to collect the money, they were just rejecting it. And so Jay needed to have a prospect that was extremely well qualified, because then more products got ordered. But the customers then followed up, and they actually wrote the checks. And here's the message here, or the moral to the story. And I know I've rambled on and on and on to tell this story. If I was a better storyteller, I could have told this story in half the time and made it more exciting. But do things to close the funnel. If you open the funnel wide open and make it too easy for people to respond, you're going to get more people that respond, but they're going to be less qualified, and in the end, you're not going to be able to convert enough of them, and it's going to be a constant source of frustration for you. So do things to generate less leads of more highly qualified prospective buyers. Hey, I hope you benefited from this video. Thanks for watching. It was long. It was drawn out, 7 minutes long. Here's a free gift for you right now. Go to heytj.net. That's HEYTJ.net. And I've got some of my books up there that I'll give you absolutely free if you'll let me send you information about some of the business opportunities that I'm involved with. I'm looking for good joint venture partners. The fact that you put up with me on this video for almost 8 minutes now tells me that you might be serious. I've written 63 books. Some of my books are listed there on heytj.net. And go there, pick the book that you want. I'll send you the digital copy, and I'll include some information about some projects I'm working on. Hope you benefited from this video. Hope to meet you someday soon. And get my free book just for watching this video. No cost, no obligation, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye for now.